These are often used as one, as a way of helping to increase balance on uneven ground. The grips of these poles are crooked at a 90-degree angle, so they can be used either in the same way as a traditional walking stick or extended to use as a trekking pole. Many people choose to use a pair of trekking poles when out walking in the hills. The poles help to increase balance, allowing the user to easily redistribute their weight. At the same time, pressure is elevated from the joints of your lower body, as more weight is borne by the arms. Trekking poles are useful if you are carrying a large pack for long periods, or if you are carrying an injury. For the best effect, trekking poles should be used in the rhythm set by your feet, placing the pole on the opposite side to your foot. Rather than being an aid, giving you added stability when out on the hill, walking with Nordic poles is an activity in its own right. Rather than placing the pole in front of you as you walk, Nordic poles are placed behind you to propel you forward. For this reason, Nordic poles are generally a lot longer than walking or trekking poles. Rather than gripping the handles as you would with trekking poles, when Nordic walking, there is a glove type grip which keeps you attached to the poles. Most poles on the market are telescopic, breaking down into 2 or 3 sections. This allows the user to adjust the length of the walking poles to their own requirements, and then allows them to be easily attached to a rucksack when not required. There are 2 main mechanisms used to adjust the length of your pole. The most popular way to adjust poles is with a twist lock system. With this system there is a screw thread behind the pole which you can twist to make the plastic expander grip the inside of the pole shaft. This system allows for an anti-shock spring system to work. The other popular system for adjusting poles is a flick lock system. Rather than having to twist the poles, there is a small catch on the outside of the pole, which you flick up to allow the pole to adjust. This system is much more glove friendly, so worthwhile looking out for it if you're using your poles in very cold temperatures. Some poles have an integrated suspension system to reduce the amount of shock travelling through your body as the tip of the pole impacted on the solid surface. This may be in the form of a simple spring system, whilst other poles give you the option to adjust the level of spring or switch it off altogether. Most walking poles are made out of a tubular aluminium, which is both light and strong. To cut down on weight even more, some high-end poles are made from carbon fibre, which makes for an even lighter pole. There are a whole range of different styles of grips on the market. The more common materials used for grips are rubber, cork or neoprene. Each of these have their own benefits, whether you are after the high grip levels found with rubber, summertime comfort of cork or the insulation of neoprene. If you are gripping something, the natural position for your wrist is to hold it at a slight downward angle to allow for increased comfort when using their poles. Some walking pole companies factor this in when designing their grips. This means that rather than the grip being perpendicular to the pole shaft, it is slightly offset. If you like to take your camera up onto the hills with you, then there are some walking poles which have a dual function as a camera monopod, saving you the bulk and the weight of carrying a tripod up the mountain with you unnecessarily.